Welcome to the Buy Box Bandits podcast.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Buy Box Bandits podcast. We're here for another awesome episode. We appreciate our viewers greatly. We have a super special guest here today, our man Justin, the flipping account, who, like his name would suggest, is an account that does dabble in some of the great Amazon reselling, as well as being an awesome YouTube content creator as well, going to different Walmarts and documenting the whole process. So we are very excited to hear his story about how he balances being an accountant, also being the flipping accountant, both in the way of doing the reselling business and having an awesome YouTube channel with now over 20,000 subscribers, only about a year into doing that. So Justin, thank you for being with us. We're excited to dig into your story and all that.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. Thanks for that amazing introduction right there. I mean, I don't know.
Miles's intros are very good. I sent it to him. Don't worry.
Yeah, but that was pretty good. I don't know if it was scripted or if it was just off the cuff. But either way, that was really good.
Oh yeah.
No, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for having me on here. Yeah, just staying busy. Just living that FBA life while doing a full-time job and just trying to juggle everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So obviously all of us started Amazon as a similar type side hustle and everything, as I assume you did. But do you want to bring us back to how you went from just being an account to being a flipping account and the flipping account? We'll start. But how'd you get into reselling and all that?
Yeah. So my origin story, like all superheroes or villains have one, right? But I started young as a reseller. My dad got me into it. He was into reselling. He had a furniture store. He taught me how to buy stuff and flip it. And when I was young, man, I hated going to garage sales and estate sales. I'm like, this is stupid. I don't want to waste my time. And eventually I kind of grew to love it. And I grew up kind of, in that world, that mentality. My dad taught me how to do a lot of that stuff. And he always kind of ingrained it in me that I needed to go to college and make something of myself and all of that. That's their mentality, where they come from. Like, you have to have a college degree, which is not necessarily true, right? You don't have to have a degree to have a successful career or a successful job or whatever. But that was where my mind went. And I got my first degree. I got an associate's degree, and then I got a bachelor's degree in finance. And when I got my degree, I actually started working with my dad at an auction company. We worked at an auction company. It was like an online auction company. So think like eBay, but when you sell stuff, like people would come and pick it up. So like I worked with him for an auction company for a couple of years. And then when that closed down, I moved south and haven't moved back to Michigan yet. I'm living in Alabama, and I've been down here for years now. And I worked a couple different jobs, did sales, stuff like that. And I decided to go back to school, got a master's degree in accounting. And as I was getting, finishing up with my degree, I was like, I'm either going to get an awesome job down here, or I'm going to move back to Michigan. And I actually had 2 job opportunities, and one of them was really neat, and I just couldn't turn it down. So I took it. I stayed in Alabama, and I was selling stuff like part-time online. Like, I've always sold stuff on eBay, but I got into doing Amazon and books. I think that's where most people start, selling books.
Right. Best way to start.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't take much. You can find them anywhere. They're cheap. You can get some high return on investment, stuff like that. And I was doing books, and the cool thing for me though is, like, I have an older Amazon account. So like,
I remember you mentioning that, I think.
Yeah. So my Amazon account, my Amazon seller account, is like 6 or 7 years old. And because I sold a couple books while I was still in college.
Interesting. So
like, I'm ungated in a lot of stuff that it's harder for people to get ungated into. Plus I have daily payouts. So like, when Q4, starts turning up and I can get really busy, I can ship out 100 things, and then I can request a payout, and I'll have my money back tomorrow.
That's huge. I mean, we always talk about money is everything in this game, right? As an inventory-based business, that's huge.
Yeah, they say that cash flow is the lifeblood of any business, so like in this, like this is why during Q4 I get really amped up. I really focus on my business because I can just keep turning it around.
Yeah, and you're toy heavy as well, like I'm sure we'll get into, so that helps as well. Oh, I didn't say Lego investor in the intro. I apologize.
Yeah,
I
it's
missed a
okay.
good opportunity there. Yeah, I did.
Got two fellow Lego investors. Miles is a big Lego investor as well.
Well, Justin put me on. That's how we
Really?
we got talking. I don't think we had spoken much. And then it was literally back in like March. I remember I made a video talking about the set that has Cara Dune. And then you were like, yeah, I'm buying those too. And then we got on Zoom like that week. It's crazy how this stuff happens. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we connected earlier this year, and we talk pretty often. And,
yeah.
Connected me with these other titans of industry in this room, and so I'm very grateful to the friendships that I've made and the connections and the people that I get to learn from. So I'm always trying to learn something from you guys.
Yeah, and you took it upon yourself to also be the teacher by creating a bunch of fun content, like I think we'll get into later. But back when you were getting started, so you had experience on eBay, but Amazon's a little bit of, there's a lot more technicalities to it, in my opinion. So whose content were you consuming, or how did you learn actually when you were actually starting to get on Amazon doing stuff? And then what kind of was the process of you figuring out that, oh, this can be a little bit more than, just selling some stuff here and there, like I've been doing on eBay in the past?
Yeah, I think when I started out, I was watching some of the older channels that are still around. I don't know if they do as much content, but Steve Rakin, you guys know Rakin Profits.
Oh yeah, great guy.
I used to watch his stuff kind of religiously, and I was in a paid Facebook group that he ran with some other YouTube guys like
Bonafide
Hustler, and Jameson Philippi. He doesn't really make that many videos or do much on YouTube, but he makes a lot of content, and he's like traveling the country all the time. Super nice guy. I actually met all of those guys in Las Vegas a few years ago. I met them for like a meetup and got to hang out with them, which was really neat, and that was way before I thought of doing an Instagram or YouTube and any of that stuff, So I kind of learned from them. I was doing books, I was doing video games, and I was getting into toys and different stuff like that. And I love the idea of being able to like buy 100 items and then ship them to a warehouse and then never have to touch them again. Like the prospect of just like sending my inventory to somebody else and then having them deal with it is just so awesome to me. I think we're living like in the greatest time of opportunity of the internet and different businesses.
Oh yeah.
Do.
The golden era of e-commerce. I think this is the peak of what it will ever be.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. And there's so many different ways you can go about it. And there's not really like a wrong way to do it unless you're talking about automation. Like,
my man. Yeah, my man.
Yeah. So there's so much, there's so much opportunity out there, but there's only 24 hours in a day. So we can only do so much, right?
Right. Yes.
That leads me into the next question. Given that there's only 24 hours in a day, do you have any strategies that you implement? Because I'm sure a lot of our viewers are starting out and trying to balance that full-time job and maybe a side hustle of Amazon. And so starting Amazon, YouTube with your full-time job, how did you balance everything?
Yeah, so I kind of started off slow with the YouTube stuff. I was very inconsistent with my videos. I would just do maybe one a month or one every couple weeks or whatever. This year kind of started and I was like, I'm going to take it more seriously. Like I'm going to be more consistent. I'm going to put out 2 videos a week, like no matter what it is, like whether the videos are good or not. It's like the more videos you put out there, the more chances you have of catching new people and educating. And, because if people only watch one video, they don't watch another one. Or if you have nothing else that's interesting,
they
they're not
can't watch another. Yeah.
So like I made a commitment this year to do 2 videos a week. And people say like, well, there's not enough time in the day. Well, we make time for things that are important to us.
That's facts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if losing weight and like eating healthy and like all of these things are important to you, then you're going to make time for it. If talking to your parents every day is important to you, you're going to make time for it. I was like, I'm going to take this seriously. I'm going to do 2 videos a week. And for like the past 7-8 months, I've been like 95% consistent. I've done really good with that.
And you've seen great results and obviously been able to, provide like, I think your content's really entertaining in the same way that it's educational, because you show exactly what you buy and everything. And being that it's retail arbitrage, for context, if you haven't checked out Justin's stuff, definitely go. It's Flipping Accountant on YouTube. We'll obviously have his links down below as well. But you make it really fun just shopping at Walmart, a task that is very, repetitive for a lot of people that shop at Walmart. But
Right.
you make shopping at Walmart fun. And not only that, you're showing people how to go in and check the clearance aisle, how to check the toys aisle, and find these different arbitrage opportunities to grab some profits here and there. So that shows, you've been consistent on different things in the same way, been consistent reselling, and you've seen great results even with the full-time job. So if you're out there listening and you have a full-time job and you're dreaming of, doing the stuff, some of the stuff you see us do, see Justin do, it's very doable if you're willing to, put the effort into it.
Yeah.
How many hours at night would you say on average do you work for Amazon, YouTube, eBay, etc.?
I'm always working, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I know.
I think
know
we
you
all
know the
are, yeah.
feeling,
Yeah.
Right. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's like every time I pick up my phone, it's like, all right, I can check YouTube, I can check Amazon. Do I need to send in a shipment? What do I have coming out? What do I have coming in? What do I need to do to hit those metrics or those marks that I'm doing? So I mean, I'm probably like, I'm working 8 hours a day during my day job, and then I'll work another 4 or 5 hours doing my other businesses. But like I was saying earlier, like, that's important to me. Like, I want to be consistent for my audience. I want to be consistent for myself. And over the past 6 months, this isn't like a huge goal, but like one of my goals was to like hit at least 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
And you post it, like you document that in your content too, like on Instagram stories, definitely.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know it might sound silly or it might sound stupid to get that many steps or whatever. And it's just kind of an arbitrary number, but
It compounds.
Yeah. And moving
Yeah.
around feels good. Yeah. If you're a listener, make sure you're moving around, make sure you're getting outside, all that, and selling stuff on Amazon.
Yep.
How difficult is it for you to stay focused on your day job during the day, right? When you could have YouTube pulling your attention, Amazon pulling your attention,
Yeah.
those sales coming in, right? With the seller app always at your disposal. Like, how hard is it to stay focused?
Because you've seen like drastic increases in number of subscribers. I assume now that you're making more videos, you're probably also sourcing more product, which creates more income from Amazon. So I am curious to hear your answer on this.
Yeah, so I'm very blessed in the sense that I like my full-time day job. I have a mission. I believe in it. I'm doing good for the public. Like, I don't really talk about my job too much, but I am a CPA, and what I do is beneficial to everyone, but I just can't talk about it that much. So when I'm doing my job, I do my best to focus on it, even though I have a million things that can draw my attention.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, like, I started a new job last year. Like,
I didn't know that. I totally didn't know that.
Yeah. Like, so when everything started, right? Like, I'm not going to mention, we all know what's going on in the world, but when it started, I started a new job, and they were like, your computer's coming in the mail. We're going to send you home to like work from home.
Uh-oh.
Right. So almost since I started this job, I've been working from home. I didn't meet my boss in person for like 6 months. I had 3 managers in like a year, and I'd normally do training and stuff, and it'd all be like in-person training, but it was all online. They were like, we're going to figure it out. You're going to do online classes and all this stuff. So like, I'm very blessed in the sense that I have a full-time job that I enjoy, and I can do it from home. But as you guys can see, my home, I'm in my office right now, and everything is here. My YouTube, my Amazon, my eBay. So I do my best to stay out of my office during the day.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you
It
physically
must
go
be
to a
tricky because
different.
you have that sales app on your phone.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So I have an office that I work out of, that I have a cubicle at, and I go in maybe 1 or 2 days a week just to meet with my team or my boss or whatever. Just to kind of break up the monotony, or if we have a big project or whatever. So I go in maybe 1 or 2 days a week, but like, my boss is like, hey, I'm not coming in today, it's raining. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll stay home, and I won't put pants on. It's okay. It's fine.
Do they know about your secret identity at all?
Yeah.
They do.
Oh,
what do
that's
they,
amazing, man. That is a beautiful thing. And I obviously, that's really cool that you like your job and they know about what you got going on additionally.
Did you tell them about it, or did they find you
Yeah.
online?
Nope. I'm a very transparent person.
That's a
Okay.
beautiful thing. That's a
And,
beautiful
and
thing.
I told them about it. I gave them the details and the pertinent information. And it wasn't really a big deal like when I first started, right? Like I have like no subscribers. Everybody starts from zero. And that's the
Yep.
thing with like business, social
Everything.
media. Like we all start from zero. We start at nothing. But if you start gaining traction and you start, gaining attention and kind of blowing up in a sense or whatever, it's always best to be forthright and be honest about that kind of stuff. And I was with my job. Like when I got to the point where I was like, I need to say something. I wouldn't feel right if I didn't. Plus, you don't want them to find out
And then, it looks
without telling them
different.
too.
Yeah.
You know who did do that? I don't know if you guys know who this is, but Roaring Kitty, who pretty much created the whole GameStop surge. He never told, I think it was
Mass
some,
Mutual.
he never told them, or if he did, it wasn't really what he was doing. He
And
wasn't honest
he
about
made
it.
like 20 million
But
bucks.
he got Mass Mutual in a lot of trouble.
Really?
Yes, because you can't.
Uh-oh.
If you're licensed, you're not allowed to speak
Oh,
about this.
interesting.
I don't know if anything ever really happened, but I know initially Mass Mutual was in a lot of trouble because of what he
Interesting.
did.
Interesting
Yeah.
side note there. I
That's
guess.
definitely very good. You're honest with him because I don't think I would be. I feel like, well, just because I don't do that much content, I'd probably feel
You don't do
feel a
much,
way about it.
much.
or
Any
Any.
content.
I mean,
We just got to get started, man. Just press record. Just put some stuff
Just
out
press
there.
Those are Miles's
No,
famous
press
words. Just
record.
press
Danny,
record.
the first videos are going to be your worst videos,
No, I
man. It
know.
can only go up from here. You
I
know what
know.
I'm saying?
this podcast
But the thing
was
Danny
kind of
has
an
to
intro
offer is
to
he's
it
been
for me.
talking in front of a camera for a long time.
A
Right?
while,
With
yeah.
YouTube lives and obviously this podcast.
Yeah,
So
true.
this is
The
kind of an
recording
intro.
is not the issue.
This is an intro to it for me.
The
This is
intro.
definitely-
Okay.
This is definitely an
we'll
intro
see.
to it for me.
Yeah.
So I was just say, like, what is your day to day is kind of just you wake up, work, and then you come home and just start grinding back on Amazon and on the content.
Well, he works from home.
Well, yeah, for the most part, I get to work from home. So like
Right.
I wake up at 6 a.m., roll out of bed, turn on my computer, answer some emails, have some caffeine, get the day going, check my emails, talk to my boss, conduct my interviews, do what I need to just to do my job. And I'm very good about like I make to-do lists every day.
I do as well. So helpful.
It really is. And it's such a simple thing, but it's like if I have so many things going on that can't be missed, I'm old school and I just do it, and it really does help me.
Yeah, I find that like at night before I go to bed, I could keep it like near my nightstand because I'll think of things like as I'm about to fall asleep. I'm like, oh my God, I got to do this tomorrow. So I'll write it down and I'll just like write down everything I need to do. Then in the morning, wake up and check through it.
That's the problem. Now that we have the podcast started, we've been getting on these like hour and a half long FaceTimes that
Yes.
start at like 10 or 10:30 off like a random idea. But the
Yeah.
problem is we'll be going till like 11:30 and then we'll tap out, but I'll still be thinking of stuff. Like that's the probably gets my mind
Yeah.
alive. And that's like what, we've, YouTube Live, Zoom stuff, just us as a friend group, Justin, Cody, like all these guys, like it's good that we're able to talk and connect and everything. And I think it'd be a lot less fun without that. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I was saying it a few minutes ago, like I'm very grateful to have met you, to be connected to you and the other people that I've met. Cody is an awesome guy. You guys are awesome. I always joke around and I call Garrett Thor because the guy's
Yeah,
built like
I love that. I
a
love
brick house,
that.
And which is kind of funny because I actually want to talk about dieting a little bit because I'm thinking about giving intermittent fasting a try. I wanted to get Garrett's 2 cents.
Oh, I love it. I'm not Garrett, obviously, but it makes me feel so like, it makes me feel just so much more clean. I think like during the day, like it has my thoughts more clear, I think.
Is that when you only eat?
Scientific benefits?
Is that when you only eat twice a day? And like no snacks? What is that?
Well, you have like a window,
Yeah.
right? Like for example, you'd eat from like noon to 8 would be like your eating window. So you'd only eat during that time, and then like you would fast the rest of the time.
Oh, I think I do that already.
Yeah.
On accident.
Oh, that's awesome. So this is kind of a side thing, but we were talking about in January, like the idea of going on a vacation, but that's not it. But I brought up how I never feel like switched off kind of like ever. And I said like even on like a vacation, like I've been on a couple in the past year and I still don't feel like switched off. So I've been trying to find at night maybe or at some point during the day to really try and switch off and just like relax. So I'm
Yeah.
curious if you have any experience with that, or if you're trying throughout the day to kind of take a break, because I think it's honestly important for like burnout and just being tired.
I totally agree that it is important to take care of your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health. I try to turn it off. It's difficult for me. And that is something that my significant other will point out to me occasionally. She'll be like, you need to turn off sometimes. She doesn't want to send me to Walmart to grab something because I'll be gone for an hour.
True.
So funny.
So I have to be careful with that. I have to, reflect and just be like, hey, can I take a break from this? And sometimes like tonight I have a movie from Redbox. I just want to just like, once we're done here, I'm probably just going to turn everything off and then just chill for a couple hours, just kind of reset and just have my quiet time. And also bought a book on fasting. So I'm going to read that too.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
And the nice thing is,
Yes, sir.
your items will be selling in Amazon's warehouse, regardless of whatever movie you're enjoying, and your content will be being consumed. You'll be helping people out there, showing them how to talk to these different or navigate these Walmarts. Maybe they'll be becoming educated on the underground Walmart employee foot pick industry, which if you're not familiar with that, you'll have to go check out Justin's recent video on it a week or two ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, kind of switching it up. I would love to hear the best flip you've ever had, whether that is like ROI or thing you enjoyed the most or total profit on a specific item. Curious about some of those.
Yeah. So I've kind of talked about this before on other lives or whatever, but like I told you guys, like I used to work with my dad when I was younger, and not only did he have a furniture store, but we would also buy storage units.
Oh, neat.
Oh, wow.
That would be
Like
some
closed
good
storage
content.
units?
That would be good content if you
Oh,
ever
that would
got back
that's
into that.
that would be superior content.
Yeah.
What's that show? Storage Wars on.
Love that
There's
show.
a show
Right,
about
right.
that,
Great
yeah.
show.
Yeah, we used to do, and I don't want to sound like that guy, but it's like we used to buy storage units before there was a show on it.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
awesome.
Like my
Did you
dad.
did you miss the casting call? Like, where were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Where were you?
we're probably not the most photogenic guys out there or whatever, but my dad he looked a lot like me. He was just like, he had like my frame, but he had a really big stomach, so people would recognize him walking down the street. Like, oh yeah, there's Justin's dad or whatever. But yeah, we bought a lot of storage units back in the day, and that is a ridiculous amount of work. I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh yeah.
So much work.
What's the YouTuber that still does that? I can't remember his name. Me and you have talked about him before. Oh, my boy Resale Rabbit. And there's another one in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I don't know if Resale Rabbit does.
So
There's another guy in Connecticut that does it too.
So how does that work? You just go to the auctions, you got to like sign up or get a license?
Well, it's easier now because now you like they advertise all their auctions online. Like you can sign up and you can get emails like, oh, hey, there's going to be a storage unit auction on Saturday with 5 units. See, and there's some gray area there too, because it's like state law that these companies have to like put it in the paper or they have to advertise it, right? Well, the companies that do it by the book, they'll put it in the paper, but the companies that don't want anyone to show up, they'll put it in the paper 300 miles away in a city on the other part of the state.
Oh, because they're just going to buy it themselves?
Right, or they sell it to a friend.
Oh,
They're
interesting.
backdooring storage units.
Who's selling the storage units? Is it the actual complex or is it like a
It's
collector?
probably a third-party company, I would assume.
Do they?
No, it's generally
that's-
speaking, it's the companies that own the storage units or like the
Okay.
Oh,
manager,
really?
because like their job is just to get it empty so they can re-rent it out next month.
Interesting.
But they
Dan,
also
do
know what's
they-
inside.
Do they legally have to auction it out?
I think so.
I think each state has its like different laws or whatever. But long story short, my dad and I used to do that stuff before it was popular. So they would have some auctions, or you could just deal directly with the people that just like own the storage unit companies or whatever. And one of the cool things that we got was like an old Cadillac that had been in there for like 20 years.
Really?
And I was into detailing, like cleaning cars and stuff. So I helped him detail it and clean it and, shine up the chrome rims and all sorts of different stuff. And that was a lot of fun. And we sold that on Craigslist. And we made a pretty profit on that. So that's like, I don't know if that's my best flip, but that was like my favorite.
That's
flip
cool.
ever.
That was a good,
That's
it's
pretty
like
cool.
cool story, and I'm sure good memories. as well. What about that one you did recently with or well, actually, let's talk about 2 cent video games. Give us
Sure.
the playbook on 2 cent video games.
Yeah. So people don't believe that they're like Walmart. Occasionally, Walmart will do these huge markdowns, and it's kind of like the same mentality, right? Like, because they're just like clear the shelf because we have more stuff coming in, so they don't even care what the price is. They just want it gone. And I have a habit of finding the 3 cent video games, and I share them in my videos. I share them on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that. And people still call me a scam. They're like, this isn't real. Like, this is fake. And I'm like, I literally just showed you a video.
You started doing that. Yeah. I remember Richie was talking about how he had to start showing checkouts because people were, one, we should definitely have Richie on. I don't know why we hadn't talked about it, but beautiful thing, right? So what's like, you're using Brickseek to find that stuff, right? And just praying it's actually there.
So I do a combination of stuff, and I have no problem telling people because most people don't take action. So if you're listening to this, take action, actually go out there and look for stuff and put in that extra work. But I use Brickseek. I follow deal pages. I follow Instagram pages.
You had mentioned that. Yeah, I follow a bunch of them because you had mentioned it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it's cool because like it also kind of, to me, it works kind of like a radar. Like yesterday I found tons of PlayStation 5 games for $3 a piece. I found stacks of PS5 games for $2 and $3 a piece.
PS5 games?
PS5 games, yes, sir.
You can imagine. So those were probably like retailed for like $60 or 30 to.
And then what was the resale on those?
Some of them are like 50 to 60 a piece. Some of them are like 30 to 40.
And they were just chilling in a Walmart, waiting for a flipping account to get out there and find them.
Well, I had my early warning detection system running. And one of my friends had found some a couple days ago, and he said, "Hey man, just keep an eye out." So I saw one in one of my local stores. Like I found it using Brickseek, and I saw one of my local stores. So then I started looking into it, and I was like, I'm going to make a circuit. So I went to 4 stores last night, and I cleaned out 4 stores. And today, one of the deal pages that I follow, they posted that like PS5 games are on clearance. So now 1 million more people know about it.
Yeah. And was that friend that let you know someone you met on social media?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Bingo. Probably lives in another state that you probably haven't met before in person. And we just lost Garrett. We'll keep rolling though until he gets back.
Yeah, I texted him join and come back to you first, but we can just keep going. It's fine.
All right. Yeah. So for someone who's a beginner, because this kind of been flying by so far, someone who's a beginner looking to do retail arbitrage, kind of looking to follow that, they maybe watch some of your videos. They're looking to use the playbook of going into Walmart, target some of these big retail stores and scanning the clearance section. What do you think are the best things a beginner can do?
As a beginner, you can follow pages, you can join Facebook groups. Like there are Walmart clearance Facebook groups.
That's incredible. That
are free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's
like
a ton, and there's sometimes localized too.
Yeah, you jump into a group and there's like 50,000 people, and they're like, "Oh, hey man, I just found this Christmas tree for $7. It's $100 Christmas tree," and you're like, "I need that," or like I can find that. Mm-hmm. So there's so much free content. Welcome back, Garrett. Great to see you. There's so much free stuff out there. You can join Facebook groups. You can find deals for retail arbitrage. You can follow Instagram pages.
Yeah, what are some of the Instagram pages that are all the Buy Box Bandits listening should go follow?
Sure. Well, if they're not following me, you, Garrett, and Danny, you start there, right? You gotta follow everybody in this room.
Yeah.
Right. So there's your first 4, and the Buy Box Bandits. So that's 5. There's your first 5.
Yeah.
Next one that you need to follow is the Freebie Guy. It is an Instagram page, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. And this dude just goes around and finds stuff on clearance, like clearance deals. He shares it with other people. And usually what he does, he does like charity work and stuff. Like he buys tons of stuff on clearance and sale, and then he gives it away at the end of the year, and he gives away free stuff every month to like his followers and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Sounds like a good time. Yeah, I'm not following him. I'm going to.
I don't think I am either. I'm going to give him a follow right now.
Yeah. So he just gained 4 followers, but he does great posts. Like he did a post today of like the PS5 games, and it has all of the games, all of the UPCs listed, all of the prices listed.
Just so like for the culture. Like
This is he has 1.2 million followers.
Yeah, 1.2 million.
Wow.
So there's already, so when he put out that post today, there was 1.2 million competitors looking for video games.
Wow.
True.
This might be sorry to cut you off, but is this one of the biggest resellers like on Instagram?
He's
Well, he
not
doesn't
a reseller. He doesn't
resell.
resell.
Well, I mean, like,
that's what's
I guess,
funny,
yeah. Or retail
Yeah.
arbitrage, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, it could say retail arbitrage,
Yeah.
or
Wow.
just more retail shopper, because I think arbitrage technically means selling. But
Yes, selling. So he's more of like the couponing influence.
true.
clearance.
Yeah, there
That's
is
awesome.
there is an interesting overlap between the Walmart clearance YouTube and clearance hunting YouTube. Like, Jenny's a clearance Walmart YouTuber.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jenny Gonzalez. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
She is a nice following too, definitely.
Those are the extreme couponers, right?
Yes,
Right.
they
Those are. I
yep.
think that's a show. Great show.
Yeah,
the clips
somehow
on YouTube are amazing.
Yeah, they get paid to, like, the store pays them
I've-
to
I've-
take stuff.
I've done that before. Don't
Really?
tell anybody.
Wait. How was your experience with that? Because I look at it and it seems like impossible.
It's not impossible. It is time consuming, and that's the biggest thing. But like, I used to have a stockpile when I lived in Michigan. Like, in the basement of this farmhouse I was renting, one of the rooms was my stockpile, and I just had like 20 of this and 30 of that and 20 of this, and it was just, it gets to the point where you just don't need to buy groceries anymore because you just have everything.
Yeah, and you mentioned it was time consuming. I'm sure. I feel like you'd almost spend, like, if you were to take an hourly rate, it would almost
don't get Garrett. Don't get Garrett started.
Right.
On that.
I feel like the amount you're
No,
saving to
Justin.
the amount of work you're putting into it almost equals
We've
out.
had this conversation with Justin before
have,
as well.
we
Yeah, I enjoy it though. I enjoy it. I need that
Yeah.
reminder.
That's
you-
awesome.
So here's a question, kind of getting back to Amazon. Do you purchase anything online, or is it only retail?
So I do a little bit of online arbitrage, not enough. I'll just say it like that. Like, I don't do enough, and I really want to get into it more. And I watch Miles videos. I watch what's our other boy's name? Fields of
Warner.
Profit.
Yep.
Warner.
I watch his videos. I've watched your clips where Garrett's been on Miles's channel talk about
Yeah.
tactical arbitrage.
Yeah.
I've watched that stuff, and honestly, like, I just need to pull the trigger on getting TA and like getting a repricer and all of these things. And,
Yeah,
and
wow,
I
you're
really
not
honestly, like,
repricing?
I don't really have a good reason not to. I just don't have the time to learn it right now.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
you're in a very advantageous position when going to Walmart for you to find stuff really knocks out two birds
It's
with
content
one
as well,
stone.
yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he gets the chance to make some good content in there as well.
Yeah. So
So where do
like one of my goals for next year is to really learn more about online arbitrage, really learn more about the different systems that you can use. Cause I know you guys are very successful with it, and I hear you guys talk about, I'm like, man, like I really need to learn from these guys. I just have to take the time to do it.
Yeah, and I have an interesting question that we don't have to go into detail if we don't want to, but
Sure.
I'm curious, like, how much further you maybe want to, or like think you could take the Amazon and the YouTube.
I was just about to ask the
thing.
same thing. What's your
Because
big picture?
you
Yeah.
seem to be in an awesome place where you enjoy Amazon, you enjoy YouTube, and you enjoy your full-time gig. So I'm curious, like, do you even want to like keep it going? Because maybe if you keep it going, it won't be as fun as it is in terms of like the
Yeah.
Amazon YouTube side of things. And I'm just curious your thoughts on that, because I think it's we're just social media in general, entrepreneurship, like we're kind of geared towards, we're always thinking ahead, trying to, do more and everything, but sometimes doing more isn't what actually ends up being what brings you more happiness and everything. So I'm curious your insights on that.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm kind of going through a transitional period in my life right now, so I'm kind of questioning those things,
Yeah. No, definitely. And yeah, it's good that you can,
Yeah,
I think it's good to question it as well. Yeah.
I'm not in the same spot as everyone else. I mean, we're all different, right? We're all in different stages of our lives and where we want to go and what we want to do and stuff. It would be one thing, like, if I hated my job and I was like,
exactly. Exactly.
I just want to get out of it. I dread my job, but I'm blessed because I have an awesome job. I have great benefits. I get to work from home for the most part
So nice.
and hang with my dog. And it's like, It doesn't get much better than that. But it could, right? Like, what's the limit at my job? The limit is my salary every year,
Yeah.
right? What's the limit to Amazon and to YouTube? There isn't a limit.
Yeah.
Nope.
So I don't know. I feel myself getting pulled more into like, what are the opportunities that I could do with YouTube? What are the opportunities I could do with Amazon? You know, if I knew a guy that had a prep center that I could just send stuff to, that I could trust, you know, that would be
True.
great to just buy stuff online, send it to Garrett, you know, collect my money every day, and then just, you know, have a drink and just hang, do my 10K steps a day and
True.
get on whatever
Always
workout plan
important.
Garrett's got for me. And then just, you know, just keep rocking it out.
Yeah.
That's an
buy
interesting
box
perspective
Bandit
though,
workout
because a
plan.
lot of people look at their Amazon business as a means to an end, right? A means to get away from that corporate hustle. And
Yeah.
so they're striving for a point, right? They did the calculation, they need X amount of dollars to replace their income, right? And you're completely on the other side of that spectrum, which is super cool.
Dude, I think the cool thing with what's happening like now with you with the YouTube, because like you can only take Amazon so far, but the YouTube kind of, I mean, you could just have you doing RA and kind of take that to the moon. I mean, isn't that somewhat what Rake and Profit did? Like he could have went into wholesale, but he didn't because he stuck with
he
his
scaled
YouTube.
the content, and
and
it's
it's
so
super successful.
important. So many people are so reliant on just the reselling part of things when there's so
Yes.
many different verticals, other verticals in
Yeah.
which we'll have some announcements coming soon on. But you know, there's content, building audience, there comes money with that, and everything. But yeah, very good. Boys, you got any other questions for Justin here?
Yeah, I mean,
I always have to, Danny, you
always-
can go first.
no, Garrett, hit it.
I mean, this is just kind of a playing around question, but do you have your significant other do any prep for you?
Absolutely not. Nope.
All right. And that's a quick answer there.
Separation of church and state on that one.
What does she think about the whole Amazon business and the YouTube? Like,
Yeah.
or
and
what
just
did
in
she think
general,
when she
yeah,
first told when you first told her I'm gonna start? Because obviously you're allocating a large part of your day.
true.
or
Well,
yeah.
what came first, the significant other or the YouTube?
Oh, true. I didn't even think about that.
Good
True.
I would
question.
assume the
Yeah,
significant other
we're
came
getting
first.
deep here with the questions. We don't typically do this.
Right. Yeah, no, let's peek behind the curtain a little bit. Let's see what's going on back there. No, the significant other came first before
Okay.
YouTube.
Ooh,
and-
interesting.
but on the other hand, the reselling came first before the snake fit other. Like
True.
I've been reselling since
okay.
I've been a kid. You know, like my dad ingrained it in me. So I'm always looking at deals. I'm always calculating like what's the best way, what's the best return, and all that stuff. And I honestly like there's definitely something to be said for having an amazing partner and having somebody that supports you and is got your back. You know, and when I started doing the YouTube stuff, I wasn't consistent and it wasn't really a big deal. But then when I started getting more consistent, she was like, okay, you know, what can I do to help? You know, so she commented on my videos and she would watch my videos and she would play them on her phone and she wouldn't, you know, she would just let the ads play and all that stuff.
Oh
So
yeah, that's
Oh,
love.
I
Yeah,
do that for
exactly, man.
Miles.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll put Miles' video up for 12 hours on my computer.
Right. But she's been in a little couple snippets of my videos, but generally she's
Oh,
not really
nice.
like in
Mhm.
front
Oh,
of the
that's
camera.
awesome. How much do you think that's helped you having a supportive significant other?
I think it's definitely an amazing boost to have somebody there that can push you and to encourage you to be better, because that's what it's what we should all be doing to each other instead of like cutting each other
Yeah.
down and all of that.
Mhm.
You know, if you have somebody that's like behind you and pushing you and helping you, I mean that can mean a world of difference.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So the YouTube question for you. So there's someone out there listening that is at 500 subscribers or 750, right? And is looking
Yeah.
at your channel and they're saying, how do I get to 10,000? How do I get to 20,000? What would you say to them?
Yeah. So you really just have to put yourself out there. The more videos you make, the more chances you have, or that you like, it's baseball, like the more at bats you have to get in front of a new audience to, you know, it really just takes one video for your channel to
Yeah,
just like skyrocket.
you've had a couple 100K plus ones, right?
Yeah, I've had a couple that just went bananas. It just went, you know,
Yeah.
bonkers. And I had no idea. And I didn't even think they were that good, you know?
You have a really good style, and then there's good pacing to your videos as well. It switches around a lot.
Mhm.
And like, I think your intros, I've watched a lot of your videos. Your intros are almost always you walking into the Walmart, right? like you put the GoPro up. That's like a good, like it shows like it's starting, you know what I mean? Like I'm about to get after it.
Yeah. So sometimes I will do a 10-minute or I'm 10-minute. Sometimes I will do a 10-second like stinger or like an intro. Like I'll clip like the 3 or 4 best seconds from the video, and I'll do like the first 10 seconds of like, oh, hey, here's a Walmart employee telling me she's selling her socks for $60 a pair. or here's security at Walmart kicking me out or going through my bags.
Yeah,
Or
you've had a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, you guys. Yeah,
That probably generates traction, though, I would assume. No.
Yeah, it's interesting, man.
What's been the
very
craziest
interesting.
experience
Oh,
while you're
here we
filming
go.
at a
Now
Walmart?
we definitely know what story's coming. So let's hear that, I guess.
I don't know, man. I've had a lot of those. Like, I don't know if it's just me, like if the weirdness is attracted to me, or if I just draw it in, or if I
think
draw
it's
it out.
Walmart. I think it's Walmart.
Yeah, it could be Walmart.
But yeah, man, like I have no, okay, so me, I'm a very open and like I'm an outgoing person. Like I've never met a stranger, right? I will go up and talk to anybody about anything. And maybe that's because my dad taught me how to do sales when I was younger, or I've been in sales, but I'm not scared to talk to anybody.
Right.
So I'll walk up and I'll start talking to anybody, and people feel that, you know, they feel your energy, or they feel, you know, that your charisma, that you're interested, or you want to hear what they have to say. What Miles has mentioned a couple of times, but I put out this video last week. I met this Walmart employee. She was kicking me out of the store, right? Like I was.
Oh, I didn't know she was kicking you out of the store.
Yeah.
I had to do a little bit to the editing because I didn't want to show her name.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But it was like they closed at 10 and I was at 9:59, and she
okay.
me.
All right, that's good that it at
funny.
least wasn't because of like buying quantity.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. So it was 9:59, and they sent her to come and get me.
So
And she's like walking me up to the front, and she's like, "Hey, how's your night?" I'm like, "Oh, it's going good." She's like, "What are you doing with all that stuff?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm reselling it, you know, no big deal." And she's like, "Oh, do you make good money?" I was like, I do okay.
Yeah, I do okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for
like,
context,
I
this
do
Walmart
okay.
is used to you, right? You go to the same Walmart.
I have a few in my area, so I mix it up. I don't go to the same one
Right.
like
Yeah.
all the time. And she started talking to me, and she was like, "Well, you know, I have a side hustle too." I was like, "Okay, that's cool." She's like, "You know, I sell feet pictures on the internet."
Danny,
like-
I can see the ideas flowing through Danny's head right now.
I mean, look, if someone wants to send me the money for feet pictures, go ahead.
Yikes.
I mean, she
I'm-
she was super nice. She was super sweet, and I totally did not expect it. But on the other side of the spectrum, like, why would you ever say that to a customer? Why would you ever tell that to somebody at your business, at your work?
Things that just
Did she
Walmart
tell you
for
how
I
much
guess.
she was selling them for?
Well, yeah, she told me she would sell 5 pictures for $60 of her
Ooh,
feet.
that's
Wait,
not
on what
bad.
platform?
Facebook.
Miles, did
Yeah.
you say that's
No,
not bad? What are you
what?
comparing it to?
No, like I'm saying from her perspective.
Miles,
from her
Miles is saying,
perspective.
"Oh, that's on sale. Let me."
No,
where is
from-
that?"
yeah,
That's a
from
deal.
her
That's a
perspective.
deal. So wait,
I was
so
like, "That's a discount."
I don't know if you, because I'm very curious. Like, was
Yeah.
she's just like advertising it on her own Facebook page? Is
No, I assume people slide into the DMs, but
Yeah.
no, it's got to be like group or something.
Well, it's like the classic story, right? And she, if you guys are interested in the whole story, watch the video. I'm sure.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
True.
But
We'll
just kind
add
of
it- we'll tag it below. We'll tag it below.
right, Cliff Notes version. She starts talking to me, and I'm like smiling and happy or whatever, and she just
Got
starts
the
telling me, she's
GoPro.
like, "Well, you know, it's the same thing that happens to every girl. I posted some pictures from me on vacation, and somebody said, 'Hey, those are some sexy feet. I'd like to suck on those toes.'"
Oh my god.
And, and she's like, they sent me a message, and they were like, "Hey, I want to buy some pictures of your feet." And she's like, "Well, naturally, I did it." And I was like, "Well, of
Naturally,
course."
naturally.
You know, and she's like, they told their friends, and then they wanted me to step on some soup. So I did that.
Oh wow.
All right, you guys, everyone listening, got to go watch this video.
I
definitely.
mean,
So
look,
yeah,
getting a
I'll
little-
cut it there.
Getting a little rowdy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if she doesn't do it, someone else will. It's supply and demand. So
The supply and
guess.
demand, right? You're
I
filling a
guess.
need there.
I mean, yeah, wow, that's awesome. That's
But
fun.
but that's probably the craziest thing I've had happen lately. And and I don't ever want people to think like I'm like out to get employees or I'm out to like expose them or anything like that, right? So I do my editing cuts in the style that you don't see the person's face or you don't see the location that they're at, because I'm never trying to like put their information out there.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And I think you definitely do a good job of
And
that.
for anyone listening who's doing RA, the employee should not be your enemy. They should become your friend, because
Yes,
they can
True.
help you
Yes.
in the future.
Yeah, ask
That
them
is-
what
that
the
is a
rates
great
are for
point.
feet picks, and then just kind of go from there. But the Walmart employees are trying to get that bread too. Like I was at a Walmart last night and I had a guy tell me that he was like, what do you think of these Funko Pops? He's like, have you ever sold these before? And I looked him up and I was like, I personally, I wouldn't do it because people that buy Funkos are really particular about the boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they're collectibles.
Right, because they're collectibles. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I'm just trying to make extra money, like
that respect, man. That's what we love to see, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
Funko
right.
Pops, huge. They blew up.
Yeah, they absolutely did. So Justin, we said your name a couple times, but where can everyone find you on socials if they want to follow up with you?
Yeah, if you guys want to reach out, check out me, check me out on Instagram or YouTube, The Flipping Accountant.
Yep,
It is
just straight
3
up, no
words.
underscores.
Yep, no underscores. I'm the same username on all platforms. TikTok, I haven't done any of those in a while. But I'm out there. I'm a certified public accountant. If you have any questions, you can send me a message. I'll do my best to answer it. I plan on doing more like tax videos and stuff like that. I have a lot of people asking me questions about Amazon and reselling and taxes and stuff like that. So I plan on doing more of that before next tax season so I can help people more. But yeah, just get started. If you're looking to make extra money, you can make extra money. If you're looking to make a full-time gig out of this, you could definitely do a full-time gig. It just depends on how much time you want to devote and how much you want to put into it. So
yep, absolutely.
Awesome,
and
awesome.
Very well said. So everyone go check out Justin's Instagram, YouTube, and all that. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video. And thank you, Justin, for coming on.
Thank you.
Good time.
Great
as
podcast.
Always, man. Yep, we've been doing a lot of stuff lately, and excited to see what you continue to build in your YouTube and your reselling endeavors. So thank you guys for listening. We will see you guys in the next one.
thanks.